Hello everybody. Alright. It's a continuation of my live video. Does your martial arts suck? Or is it you? So let's get down to it. I think I gave a really good summary of what this video would be about on my recent live video. So to not waste any more time, we'll get straight to it. The martial art itself is effective, has been effective for many years. Doesn't matter which martial art it is: karate, kung fu, boxing, muay thai, judo, jiu-jitsu. You want to throw an MMA in there, that's fine. You know, the martial art itself is a series of punches, kicks, knees, elbows, submissions, and so on. So if anything, the martial art itself is never to blame. It's always about the practitioner. Yeah, because you'll go on YouTube, you'll go online, and you're gonna hear all these top 5 martial arts, most deadliest martial arts. Martial arts are not that effective. You're gonna hear all that, but the martial art itself is never the issue. I mean, it's a series of hits and movements. Now, if you told me there's a martial art out there where you don't do anything, you don't touch your opponent, well then yeah, then that's very ineffective, you know. But most martial arts out there, you know, you're making some contact. So what does that leave? The practitioner. It's you, you know. If your martial art sucks, it's because you're either not practicing it correctly, you know, you're not practicing enough. Maybe you're just learning the movement and then you're like, okay, know it now, and then you just move on from there. You're not training your body the way you should be. Now, for some of these martial arts, you need to generate a lot of power, and you need to build, you know, a certain amount of muscle. Yeah, the martial art is made to defend you, protect you, and be able to be effective when going on the offense. But a big part of the martial art is training your body. That's why, in most cases, I mean, you're doing push-ups, you're doing sit-ups, you're learning how to use your waist, you're learning how to, you're gaining flexibility to be able to access all these moves. Yeah, you need a certain level of force in your body in order to make these moves effective. You know, I mean, a skilled boxer doesn't go to the ring just knowing how to box. They train their body. You know, they're out there running, they're doing abdominals, you know, lifting weights if needed, hitting the punching bag. Maybe you might not know this, but hitting a punching bag, you develop a lot of strength. And the muscles that you'll be using in a fight are developed with the punching bag, because you're using the same muscles to hit the bag. So I personally don't think it's fair to question the martial art itself, unless it's a really bogus martial art, you know, like the kind where somebody stops you using their finger guns. And, you know, I mean, even Aikido is effective if done right. But yeah, obviously, if the movement's a lot harder to execute, then that means that you gotta train that one martial art a lot more. I think an example of those is Aikido and Tai Chi. Now, Tai Chi is a martial art. It's not just used for health and balance and, you know, harmony, all that other stuff. No, those movements are actual combat movements. But if you don't train them in a combative manner, then you're not going to really unlock the way they should be done. So it doesn't what martial art you train. It doesn't matter if all you do is a series of punches and kicks. It's all about the time you put in to train them. You gotta and you got to be able to connect it with in a manner that you would connect against an opponent. Because now hitting a punching bag and hitting a person are two different things. There's no bones in a punching bag. It's just a big pile of mass. But now when you fight somebody, it's a whole different story. We have bones, we have elbows, we have knees. Some bones we have are there to protect us. We build muscle around our bones, for the mass to absorb the hits. We're made to survive in general. So, as a true martial artist, you should be conditioning your body enough to inflict a certain level of pain if needed. Now, I know a lot of people, some people will say, well, I just want to do martial arts for self-defense. I mean, that's great. You got to use martial arts to defend yourself. But remember, martial arts to defend yourself is kind of like the last resort physically. Now, if through the martial arts you gain all this confidence, you gain this type of intense personality, intense presence that allows you to basically strike fear in somebody, an aggressor towards you. That's great. That's probably one of the biggest wins in the martial art, is that you've been able to apply that martial art to your personality so that nobody wants to mess with you. That's actually very good. I mean, that's probably one of the best forms of self-defense. We show a lot of our confidence through how we speak, our body language, through the way we stare. I'm not saying like mad dog anybody. I'm saying you're able to maintain eye contact in a respectable manner, but that shows that you're confident at the same time. But when it comes down to the physical aspect of martial arts, you have to train your body. So, it all depends on who you're fighting. I mean, if you're an adult and you're fighting some teenager that doesn't know how to fight, well, yeah, it's mass over youth. But now when it comes to the martial arts, if you're fighting another skilled fighter and you're a skilled fighter but you're out of shape, it's a pretty good chance the other fighter is going to win, just from the simple fact that they're also a skilled fighter, but they're in a lot better shape, could last a lot longer, have maintained their muscle mass, have maintained their agility and their movements. So yeah, all of that is taken into high consideration. I myself have been in the martial arts for more than 20 years, but I could say I haven't been conditioning my body for the past 20 years. I'm pretty chubby. The movements I do in my videos, I'm no shame. I'm trying to execute them as quick as possible, as effective as possible, using as much agility as I can. But in this journey here, in this channel, I'm trying to get back to the point where I'm satisfied as a fighter, versus some other individuals are already there. They just need to maintain that physical ability. Some of us that have been in the martial arts for a long time, we tend to have dropped that physical ability, only for the fact that we have the experience on how to use our blocks, our punches, So, but yeah, to be a really good martial artist, you need to train your body as well as training your skill. You gotta be consistent with your techniques. But yeah, the body plays a big part, and that's the point where it separates the martial art from the person. So no, the martial art doesn't suck. It rarely does the martial art suck. Even if it's like a simple form of karate, or if it's one of the most weirdest styles in kung fu, all those movements are effective. At some point they were developed because they got the job done. What kills the effective part is the person. So whenever you hear about McDojos, giving a karate class or a taekwondo class or a kung fu class or a kickboxing class. You hear McDojo, it's not the martial art that's to be judged, but the person that practices it, and the person that's and how they're teaching it. So that's a really big deal when it comes to that self-awareness, is that, you know what, if your martial art is no good, it's because you're probably just not, like I said, you're either not doing it correctly, you're not putting in enough time, you're not giving yourself the patience you need to develop the muscles you need for that martial art. No, remember, there's a lot of martial arts out there. Muay Thai is a bit more rough when it comes to executing the movements. Let's say you're doing capoeira. You can't just have any body type for capoeira. And if you do, you got to get in capoeira and train your body to get to the point where you can use that body for capoeira. Even Wing Chun, they say Wing Chun was about for a female, back in the days. But regardless, they still had to train their movements. They still had to build, an amount of muscle. You can't just come in weak and just start, blocking movements and using your opponent's momentum against them. You gotta have some momentum of your own too. So, it is what it is. If you have a martial art and you feel that's not effective, or it's been seen to not be coming off as effective, it's not the martial art. You need to train. You need to join a class. You need to get back to doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. You need to go back to stretching every morning. You gotta get your body there. Do yoga, do Pilates. Strengthen your stance. But regardless, if you're struggling at a martial art, if it's not coming out the way it's coming out, ensure that you know that you're the problem, and that's how you're gonna fix it. Anyways, share your comments, your thoughts, agree, disagree with me, and that's all I got for you. All right, everybody, have a great day.